Today, we're looking at typography. Typography is an interesting style of art that uses text or font to either convey a message or produce a piece of product branding for a company. An artist who produces this work is known as a typographer. There are many different kinds of typography or creative font use, sometimes which are produced by freelance artists for posters, company logos or names or branding, or the alphabet that companies use when they put out their different messages or to put out their product. Today, what I'm going to ask you to do is to put together a piece of creative typography. Now, you will need to take a suggestion of a word or phrase and arrange your own letters to convey a message. Okay, so one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to decide what you want the outside of the letters to look like. So this may take a couple of different forms. For example, you might choose to have a rather capital letter, very simple, define two lines, one along the top, one along the bottom. Use that as your border for how big the letters are going to go. Make sure they don't go outside those lines. Make sure they go from top to bottom. And you might just have capital letters, say A-R-T, art. Okay, easy peasy, and then that will be the first starting point. Or you might choose to say, for example, mix it up a little bit, and okay, we're going to have the outlines of letters, but maybe say if we're using letters that have an inner part to them, like A or O or D, maybe we're going to remove those completely, so the only way you can recognize the letter is if you can see from the outline and the shape determines what it is. Or you may even choose to do, for example, a free form, so your word or the letters that you're doing aren't constrained by a top line and a bottom line. It may even be that they take on a specific shape themselves. Say, for example, like a big splat. There's a paintbrush and a splat of paint coming off it, and under the splat at the bottom, that's where your typography is, and say it says art inside there, for example. Now, that's step one, deciding what you want the outlines of your letters to look like. After that is when it gets interesting, because now you have to decide, well, how do I want to make this unique? How do I want to make it original to me? What am I going to be inspired by? Okay, it's great having the word art. If I think about the word art though, to my mind it brings the idea of something messy, some kind of painting, different materials that might be used. Okay, there's an idea. I have the outline for my word art. Inside the letters then, what I have is maybe different splats of paint. Maybe each letter is a different colour, and it's as if the paint has been squeezed on top of this letter and it's dripping and it's oozing and it's running down like melting ice cream in a Dubai summer. That's just one idea of what you could do. And that is the beauty of typography. You can approach creating your own alphabet or your own word in whatever way that you want. You can, for example, choose to have something interesting which escapes the borders of the letters. Maybe it twists the different shapes that the letters actually take, and then that's how you create your own unique alphabet. Maybe you're quite comfortable with whatever it is that you come up with being constrained within a shape. So say for the example that I'm showing you now, I took the outline of a hand and put a phrase inside that. So you can choose to approach this in any manner that you prefer. I look forward to seeing what you can come up with as you become and assume the role of typographers. I'll see you next week.